Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I will be doing a February budget with me. So let's get right into it. If you are new around here, my name is Nikki. It's been a while since I've done one of these budget with me videos, and I felt like I just needed to take it back to the beginning. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was documenting my journey of becoming debt free, and I just kind of just got away from it. So now I'm starting my debt free journey all over again, and I wanted to just document all over again my journey of becoming debt free and paying off of debt and things like that. So let's get right into my February budget. So now I use the budget notebook. I actually created this notebook for myself because what I realized with the other ones that I had purchased from Amazon, Target, and places like that is that there wasn't enough lines for the amount of bills and expenses that I had, and I needed to create my own because I had so much things going on. So if there's someone out there that may be just like me, that has a whole lot of debt, that may have a whole lot of expenses and things like that, and you just need a whole bunch of lines so you can actually, see exactly where your money is going, then consider getting this budget notebook. I will leave the link to it down below. But let's get right into my budget for the month of February. So as you can see right here, this actually comes as an undated monthly calendar. I've already filled it in because I like to budget in quarters. So February is done, and also March is done on how I really, pretty much plan on spending my money. But I'm just gonna explain exactly what I got on this worksheet and, explain it to you guys so that if you are interested in getting the notebook, you'll know how to fill it out for yourself. So the first thing I do when I come to my undated monthly calendar, I like to list out all of my paydays. The reason why I list out all of my paydays is because this allows me to see how much money am I going to be working with in the month of, February. So I'm paid on the 2nd and I'm paid again on the 16th. I budget my income to be at least $2,000. The reason why I budget that amount is because I've noticed in 2023, the lowest paycheck I had was around $2,000. So I just went forward in 2024 with starting off with a $2,000 paycheck at my minimum amount. So once I list out all of my paydays, the next thing I do is I focus on saving and investing. Now my investing and retirement automatically comes out of my paycheck every single time that I'm paid before money is actually dispersed into my banking accounts. So I go ahead and I write this stuff down because I want to start keeping track of how much money, I'm investing and how much money is going into my retirement and things like that. So I put $211 for investing each time that I'm paid, and then I put $250 every single time that I'm paid inside of my savings account. The next thing I do once I, prioritize saving, investing, and things like that, the next thing I go ahead and do is I write down all of my bills for the month. Now, you could do this by just going back through your previous bank statements and things like that and just writing out how much your bills are and on the dates that it's actually due. And I go with the highest amount that bill has ever been because this allows me to at least budget the highest amount. And if that bill is lower than what I budget for, I have a little bit of savings left over. So for instance, some things is just going to be the same amount every single time, like a Apple subscription. That is going to be $9.99 every 5th of the month, every single time. It's not going to go up or it's not going to go down. So I'm going to just budget the correct amount for that one, and I'm just going to budget $9.99. But say for instance something like Georgia Power, which is due on the 8th of the month, is pretty much due on the 8th of the month every single month, but it's not $180. It's like $179 and some change, but I round up a little bit just to give me a little bit of wiggle room, not much at all, but I am on the flat rate bill with the Georgia Power. So I do round up to 180 and it leaves a little bit of change in there. Now, when we get into expenses, you will see how I actually budget for those. But for us, the bills, I budget at the highest amount that they've ever been, and I put it on the dates that it's actually due. Now, when we go into expenses, my expenses consider gas and food, and I budget $50 for gas. Now, gas is not going to be $50 every single time that I go to the gas station. It's going to fluctuate depending upon how much gas is for one and how much gas I have left in my tank. Now, what I realize is that If gas is under $3 in my neighborhood, I know that I don't go over the $50 mark. Now, if gas is over $3 a gallon in my area, then I know that I haven't went over $60. So depending upon what the price of gas is going to determine how much I actually budget for. So right now, gas in my area has been around like $2.93, somewhere around there. So I've been budgeting $50 a week for gas, and I usually go to the gas station every single Sunday. Sometimes that varies too, because if I'm doing a whole lot of running around, then I may need to go to the gas station maybe on Friday or maybe on Saturday or something like that, because the gas tank is, getting a little bit low and I can't just ride it out till Sunday. But majority of the time, I go to the gas station every single Sunday. So I put gas as $50 every single Sunday on my monthly calendar, and then I budget for food every other week. Now, what I do with food is that I just get pretty much the same thing that I always get every single month, and I just replace the food that we are low on. Now, I budget $300 a month for food, and I just split it up every other week. So I give myself $150 for food every other Sunday, because usually I go to the Walmart. Walmart has the Murphy Express, so I get gas and food at the same location. And also with food, I really should just call this Walmart, because I also get personal items that I need, like soap, toothpaste, feminine items, things like that. I also get things that we need for the home, such as paper towels, washing powder, dish detergent, things like that as well. So that is also included in the food budget. Maybe later on I would change it to Walmart, since I do all of the shopping at Walmart for every single thing. Now, once I have all of the bills and expenses listed out on my monthly calendar, this allows me to see, okay, everything that I need to pay for the month. Now, I usually budget by paycheck, and how I normally do that is I move over to my paycheck budget worksheet. Now, on this paycheck budget worksheet, I budget out the income. So for the month of February, since I am budgeting $4,000, I just break that in half, because I'm getting paid only 2 times this month. So I will put $2,000 as my budgeted income for the first paycheck, and then once I'm spending money, I will come over here to my worksheet and write every single expense down, and we're going to get into that right now, but I'm just explaining. And then on my next worksheet, I will write down the other $2,000, and I will write down all of the bills and expenses as well. And then once I'm spending money, I will write down my expenses there. Now, inside of this budget notebook, there are 5 paycheck worksheets. So this is perfect for someone that actually gets paid weekly. So if you are a person that gets paid every single week, this will actually work for you as well. This will actually work even better for you, if I'm being quite honest. So now let's get right into the budget for February and go ahead and break down this paycheck. So after adding everything up, my total comes up to $2,436.47, which is definitely more than what I actually budget for as my income. That's why it's so important to actually do this budget way in advance, so that you can see how much money you actually need per paycheck when you're looking at your bills and expenses from here. So usually I do this, like I said, I do this quarterly. So I have already done this. I already knew that I needed more money, because for me, majority of my bills mostly comes out of my account at the beginning of the month. Once I get to like around the 10th to the 15th, around those dates, usually everything else for the remaining of the month is smooth sailing, and that's the reason why I always leave a buffer in my account. I leave at least $500 left into my checking account, because I know at the beginning of the month that's where majority of my money is spent. So if we go back to my January budget, as you can see right here, my last paycheck right here, and see, I actually put it on my computer screen, but I had around $700 remaining from my last previous paycheck because I use a spreadsheet on the computer now. I don't necessarily have to calculate everything because it automatically calculates it in the spreadsheet, and I will show you guys how I do that. But anyway, from the last previous paycheck, I had $700 remaining, so I'm not worried too much about it being $2,436.47 because I already know that this was gonna happen. So first of all, my paycheck, it wasn't even $2,000. It was more than $2,000. I think it was around, I want to say $2,200 or $2,300. I'm not exactly sure. I got to go back and look at it. But this is the reason why I like to budget in quarters, because I can see this way in advance that I need more money in that first paycheck, or whatever the situation may be. So let's get right into paycheck number 2. So this is paycheck number 2. And when I total everything up, this one comes up to $1,211.95. So that's where you see it's so important for me to roll money over. Although I will still use some of this money to pay down debt, I will also give myself some money. But majority of this money usually rolls over. Like I said before, I at least roll over $500. So that's exactly what I'm going to take out. I'm going to do $500 for remaining. That's what I'm going to budget for. So now my total comes up to $1,711.95. And when I subtract $2,000 from $1,711.95, it leaves me with $288.05 that I can split 2 ways. And I can give myself $144, and then I can send $144 towards savings, or I can either put this towards debt. Usually when I have less than $500, I usually split it 2 ways, and it just goes towards debt, and then I get a little bit of money. But when it's more than $500, then I would split it 3 ways, and I would put a little bit more in my savings. I would give myself some money, and then I would put money towards debt. But I'm in a position of where I go back to my goals, and then I look and I say, okay, but what are my goals for the month? And then I disperse that money accordingly. So this month I said I wanted to pay off this credit card. So basically I already knew that. So I needed to figure out ways to make some extra money. So I've been creating content on the side. I've also have been working a little bit of overtime with my job. So that's how I plan on taking care of this credit card to the side. I want to save at least $500 or whatever. So I do that automatically because saving to me is very, very important. So I automatically have that deducted from my paycheck and goes into my savings account. Then I said I wanted to start my Etsy for my digital products because I do have this entire notebook in digital format, so I need to put it on Etsy. Maybe I can make a little bit of extra money from there. And then I'm also gonna have some items that I'm gonna list on Poshmark and see if I can make some money with doing that. So like I said before, you guys, when you're looking at your budget in a glance, you want to do this way in advance. If I was just starting my budget in the month of February and my bills was this and I didn't have any savings or any extra money left in my account, I would be in the hole because for one, the first paycheck is the bills that's coming out of this first paycheck is way more than what I actually budget for. So when it's something that's like that, then I definitely wouldn't be able to save. So $250 wouldn't go towards saving, and then the $211 wouldn't go towards investing. But since I already know that this was gonna come out because I've already planned for this back in December, I've already made the necessary adjustments. Now, another thing that I like to do is the color coded method. I got this from the Budget Mom. And I actually like this method. It allows you to see exactly what bills and expenses are going to come out with what paycheck. I use these highlighters or whatever. I got these from Amazon, you guys. I will leave the link to them down below. So what I do is I give all of my paychecks a certain color. So for the second, we're going to give it like this purple pink color. And basically this is what I do. I go and I highlight that purple, and then I highlight everything that's going to be taken out of that paycheck, because I have my account set up where I have a bills and expense account, and then I have a savings account, and then whatever's left over from my paycheck goes into another checking account for spending or extra debt payment or me putting money into my savings. So this is how this will work right here. So I would know that everything in purple is going to be taken care of with that paycheck, because that paycheck, $1,500 of this paycheck is actually going to go into my bills and expense account. Then $250 is going to go into my savings account, and then whatever is left over from the paycheck is going to go somewhere else. Now for this one, if $2,000, if I'm paid just this amount, $1,500 is going to go to the bills and expense account. $250 is going to go towards the savings account, and whatever's left over is going to go towards the other checking account. So out of the $2,000, you guys, that I'm budgeting per paycheck, $1,500 goes into my bills and expense account for bills and expenses that you see already written out right here. And then $250 goes into my savings, because savings is important. And then whatever is left over goes into a separate checking account for me to do whatever it is that I want to do with it. And it's gonna vary month to month. Sometimes it may be, okay, well, this month I want to buy a pair of shoes, so I'll spend that on that. This month I want to pay down my credit card, so it may just only go towards credit card. Or this month I'm hanging out and I want to split that money 2 ways, and I want to give myself some money, and then I want to pay down debt, so I get $125, and then I'll send $125 towards debt payment. So that's how I actually break that money down. Then I'll go ahead and do the next paycheck, and we're going to do this one blue. And if you don't have different accounts where where everything is automatically taken out of, sometimes when I have extra money left over from this paycheck, I will go ahead and pay some of the other bills as well. So you could do that too if you don't have an account set up where these payments are automatically taken out, because everything that you see right here is automatically taken out except for food and gas. I actually have to go out and actually get those. So that's the month of February. This is how I actually budget for the month of February. Like I said before, you guys, I will leave the link to the notebook down in the description box below for anyone that is interested in getting organized with their finances, so they can see exactly where their money is going. And I'm going to show you now how I actually use my monthly spreadsheet to total everything up, so I can see how much am I actually contributing to my savings, how much am I spending on out to eat, or how much am I spending on groceries in its entirety. So let me open up my laptop so I can bring up my spreadsheet. Okay, y'all, here is the monthly spreadsheet. As you can already see, it has graphs there because I've already input some numbers inside of it. So the only place where you have to input numbers is really just the income section, and then on the bills you have to write down your categories right here, and then on expenses you have to write down your categories over here. Now right now I have subscription and Just Call Me Nikki, which is my everything for Just Call Me Nikki. That could be my YouTube. I use vidIQ, I have a Shopify account, I have TubeBuddy and all of those different types of things. But I'm gonna take these out, and what I feel like what's going to be up under my bills are every single thing that I listed on my calendar that comes out of my account. I'm going to put that right there, and then for all of the expenses that I didn't plan for, I'm going to use this column for that. And the way I plan on tracking that is by going to the expense tracker, and every single time that I spend money, so let's just say today is the 8th of February, and let's just say I spent $10 on parking. Now parking is not on here because it's not listed over here on my monthly in the expense column, but I'm gonna put parking. I'm just gonna do parking right here, because you know why I did this is because I'm so tired of just having miscellaneous. No, I need to see what the miscellaneous is. So instead of me having miscellaneous, it's gonna be whatever that transaction was that I spent money that I didn't budget for. I'm gonna have to type it out and make it a category so that I can see, okay, well, you doing a whole lot of spending on parking. Maybe you need to add parking to the monthly budget and put it up under bills and just give yourself a set amount of money for just parking. So that's what I'm gonna do with that. In the bill section, I'm just gonna put a column for subscriptions. As you can see right there, I'm gonna put subscriptions over here, maybe memberships up under there, and so forth and so on. But as you can see right now, this is the monthly spreadsheet. And then when I total in my amounts for savings, as you can see right here, my general savings, because I do $250 every single time that I'm paid, and I'm paid twice this month. It's giving me a budgeted general savings of $500, and then for retirement it's giving me $197, and then for investing it's $180. Now those two sections or items actually comes out of my paycheck before I'm actually paid, you guys. So that's why those are right there. Let's see what else is on here. Now, first, my debt. Now I only have student loans and credit cards right now. I'm not really focusing on my student loans, but I'm probably going to list them out. I'm just going to put probably student loans there because I'm going to get back into paying my student loans, because I have the MyFICO app, and it told me if I was to pay off $5,000 of student loans that my credit score would go up a whole lot of points. So I'm going to get back into paying off my student loans because I had put pause on the student loans and I wasn't really focused on them. But I'm just going to be sending, maybe not, paying off $5,000 this year, but maybe sending an extra $50 here, $100 there, type of ordeal. But I wanted to show you guys this monthly spreadsheet. That way, this one is available too, that I have for sale. So if you would like this one instead of the notebook, that will totally, be fine. This is just a monthly budget though, you guys. So I use both of them because I do want to see how much am I spending in every single category each month. And then I do actually like to write my stuff down as well and plan it all out too, because as you can see here, it's not a whole lot of lines here. You have to categorize some things or combine some things, just like I was saying about the subscriptions, because I do have a whole lot of subscriptions and I do have a whole lot of stuff that I pay for. Just call me Nikki. I'm not going to be able to list every single line item. I'm going to have to categorize those into one section. So, yep, this is that. And once you start saving, so let's say I did do $500 for saving. Let me show you what it actually does, you guys. So you see how that went up? It allows me in my monthly breakdown to see that 98.0% went into my savings and 2% went into my expenses. And that's the reason why I like this spreadsheet so much, because now I can see how much money I'm spending in each category percent wise, and then I can see at a glance with the graph, am I over or under budget, things like that. And then I get to see, how much percentage of my goal did I meet with, my savings goal. So I think this is really, really, really cool, you guys. So, yep, leave the link down to it in the description box below. So that's it, you guys, for this video. I hope you guys like my February budget with me. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have done your February budget, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.